everyone. We are live. I have to tell you guys, I have been trying to get online for about the last half an hour, and things just were not working out right with my StreamYard. So then I got to thinking, I'm like, wait, I can go live with YouTube Live. So here I am going live. So I wanted you guys to know that I'm going to try out this new vertical format. It's not what I had planned, but it is where we are. So I want to say hello to those that are joining me tonight. So hello, Tam from Duncan Party of Six. It's good to have you here with me. And there's somebody else out there too. Let me see if I can raise this up just a little bit higher, because this is a little bit different format. So I want to make sure that everyone can see. And Michelle Nelson, hello. How are you ladies doing as well? I'm glad that the notification did come through. I just wanted people to, well, I just wanted to say that I was live. So let me just jump a little note on my community tab. And we will just go on from there, because you guys know I don't just chat just to be chatting. All right, so the topic for today is this: zone cleaning versus spring cleaning, and which one is right for you. And here's the thing. For some people, I believe zone cleaning is the way to go. And if you think about it, let's talk about what spring cleaning is. We'll talk a little bit about the origin of it. So spring cleaning kind of originated from the day when everyone's house was all shut up during the winter time. Windows were closed. People used coal or gas heating, that kind of thing. Bedding was all close and just really get kind of stinky or kind of funky over the winter time. So in the spring, and the weather started to warm up, people could open up their windows, throw open the doors, and just air the place out. So what kind of things would they do? Well, they would wipe down the walls. They would wash the bed linens, if they were fur or if they were cotton, quilt or whatever, hang them over the bushes or on the clothesline to let things dry out. Wash down the baseboards, all those kinds of things. So that's what people did for spring cleaning. But here's my thought. We don't have to do that anymore. We don't have to do that anymore because most of us live in a situation that you have pretty equitable heating year round. Even though the windows may be closed during the winter time, you can get your beddings washed up pretty easily, get them into the dryer, get those kind of things washed up. So things aren't kept quite as close as they were at one time. So I'm thinking that zone cleaning is going to be the best bet. Now I'm trying this new vertical format with YouTube. You guys will have to let me know how you like it, because I just feel like I'm just like right here. But I can see who's here, so let's just greet a few people. So again, Tam Party of Six, how you doing? Michelle Nelson is here. Blue Skies is back. Hooray, ladies, Blue Skies is back. And she says she truly needs to learn zone cleaning and how to master it. And then Jerry Barber is here too. So hey, Jerry, glad to have you. Judy Michelle is here as well. So Blue Sky said that it's been so long since she's been on. She doesn't remember how things looked before. Well, I don't think things were this narrow. At least I'll put it this way. It looks very narrow to me. So if you guys can let me know what you think. But let's talk about what are some of the things that people typically do for spring cleaning. When I was a girl and we did spring cleaning, we would wash down the walls in our homes. And then both my parents smoked at that time. So you would end up with maybe smoke stains on the walls. The house would be kind of close with the smell of smoke. And oh my goodness, Fly Lady Cat is here. Oh my goodness, my own personal mentor, the best Fly Lady on YouTube, is with us. She's with us today. And yes, I am so glad you're here. And Cheryl from Around the House with Cheryl, I'm glad you're here as well. So again, now when we back up to talk about what we did when I was a girl, we washed down the walls, we mopped all the floors, but my dad and my brothers did that on a weekly basis anyway. But we would wash the baseboards in the spring and the fall, those kinds of things. But now today, I engage in zone cleaning. So I personally don't think there's a need for spring cleaning per se today. So let's talk about what zone cleaning is. Well, first of all, I follow the Fly Lady cleaning system, and my mentor, Fly Lady Cat, is here. And we have what we call 5 zones that we use. And zone 1 is your entryway. Those the ways that you enter and exit your house. So, and maybe a room that might even be right off your entryway. So, for the entryway, it's going to be your front porch, your hallway. If you've got a stairway that's right off your entryway, you might look at the landing there. A lot of people have a dining room that's right off their entryway, so you may count that. But you can also count your back patio, your garage door, those areas where you come in and out of your house. That's your entryway. Zone 2 is the kitchen, and that's a biggie because there's so much going on in the kitchen, and we spend a lot of time in the kitchen. So zone 2 is the kitchen. It has its whole week. Zone 3 is going to be the main bathroom and one other room. So in my house, the main bathroom would be the bathroom on the first floor. That's the bathroom that everyone uses when they come into the house. And so my one other room is often my office. And then zone 4, it's going to be the master bedroom, the master bedroom closet, the master bathroom, which I've learned from Fly Diddy Cat. Now they're changing that name to the primary bedroom or the primary bathroom and the primary bathroom closet or the primary bedroom closet. And then zone 5 would be those living spaces like the living room and the family room. So now what kind of things do we do in those areas? So for example, for zone 1, I might decide I typically will clean the entryway, which is that hallway that comes from my front door straight down the hall into the kitchen. But I will also sometimes choose to vacuum the landing right there because it's right off of the entryway and I can see it when I'm standing right there. And so I might vacuum that landing. I might tend to polish the woodwork in that area there or in the landing, in the entryway itself. I might polish the glass, polish the railing on the stairwell, those kinds of things. Or sweep down the front porch, clean the cobwebs off from around the corners of the porch, especially around the doorbell. For some reason, we get a lot of cobwebs around the doorbell and those kinds of things. Now, what might I do specifically for spring in that area? Well, during the wintertime, I'm not out there sweeping the porch. I just don't. My husband will shovel the walkway from the driveway up to the porch so you can get to the front door. If people are coming by to visit or dropping off packages, he will shovel the front porch and shovel the walkway so you can get there. That's all I'm doing out there in the winter. So what is different in the spring? In the spring, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sweep the porch. If there's any leaves that have been left over from fall that are in the corners or crevices, I'm going to clean all that out. I'm going to um, see if there's any cobwebs or anything like that that have went over, and then bring out the porch furniture, those things that we have out on the porch that we like to sit out on. That's what I'm going to do in zone 1 for the spring. Now let's see what's going on in the chat over here. And Luann there's a rather Cheryl from Around the House with Cheryl is here. Hey, Cheryl, I haven't seen you in a very long time. Faiza, thank you. These are a little different from the white pearls that I normally do. And Blue Sky says spring cleaning is great for those who don't do zone cleaning. And Michelle says she doesn't do zone cleaning. She's tried and she knows that it's the season. She doesn't know if it's in the season she's in or what, but it is difficult for her to do. And she keeps thinking of it as a someday thing. And so Fly Lady Cat is sharing with her to just divide your house into 5 areas, which you can do. You can divide your own house into 5 areas and make zones that way. You don't have to stick to the 5 zones we have in the Fly Lady cleaning system. However, my thought is, why reinvent the wheel? If there's a system that's out there that has proved to be working for so many people, just tweak it a little bit to see if you can get it to work for you. So yes, divide your home into 5 areas. And Lola is on. And Lola is on. I'm not sure which Lola this is. This is someone new. Oh, so Daisy B says it's off topic, but how do you get rid of pantry bugs? Well, Daisy, first thing you're going to have to do, you're going to have to take everything out of your pantry. I mean, absolutely everything out of your pantry, and wipe it down with some bay oil and water. That's number one. And then number two is that if you've got pantry bugs or meal bugs in your box mixes and different things like that, you're going to have to throw them all out. So you're going to have to look at them first of all to see whether or not those pantry bugs have gotten into those box mixes. And sometimes they do. So the boxes of rice and pancake mix and sometimes even cereal and those kinds of things, you're going to have to look them over very carefully. And if they're in there, you're going to have to throw all those kinds of things away. And then, like I said, wipe down the pantry very carefully. One of the things that I like to do to make sure that I don't get pantry bugs, I like to store my, um, say, food staple, shelf stable products like cereal and flour and sugar and cornmeal. I like to store them in glass. That helps to reduce the chances of getting pantry bugs. And if you're wondering, well, what do pantry bugs look like? They can look like those little teeny tiny little moths that just kind of flit around. Sometimes if you open up a pack of bird seed and something flies out, those are like little pantry bugs. And you might see little moth-like things like that in your pantry. Or you might get what my mom used to call mealworms, and they're just like little tiny black bugs or little wiggly things that might get into cornmeal and flour and those kinds of things. So what you're going to want to do is, if you see any of that, you're going to have to throw out all of those flour, pancake mix, grits, those kind of things, because they could be in those boxes as well. And I know that's a lot to say you're going to have to pitch those, but you don't want to get those in your things later. Okay, so Daisy said she's already discarded over 99% of what she had. She discovered light brown worms crawling on the carpet in her food storage room. Oh, I am so sorry, Daisy. I am so sorry. And that is huge. So you found them on the carpet and they were probably in some of your things. So, like I said, get everything out, even all the canned goods, get everything out of that space and give it a good cleaning. And if they were on the carpet, I'd also see what you can spray that carpet down with. Some kind of green, when I say green, some kind of a carpet cleaner or some kind of a cleanser that is safe for your family. I would spray the carpet down with that, give that carpet a good cleaning, and then wash the baseboards, all the nooks and crannies. And you might even want to consider, like I said, just spraying everything down real good and letting it sit for a couple of days just to make sure everything is cleaned out. I would even wipe down the tops of the canned goods and those kind of things just to make sure I'm not transferring anything back in there. And then get some things like ball mason jars. You can get quart size, half gallon size, those kinds of things to put those things in, to put your flour, your sugar, your cornmeal in, because bugs are not going to get in there. And if they do, they'll be limited to that one container. Now, someone is suggesting that we might even consider using bleach water. Let me see. I would wipe down all the cans and all the bottles with soapy water. I would, just to make sure I'm not letting anything back into my space. And bleach water is certainly another alternative if it's okay for you to use bleach in your home. Some people don't like to use bleach. Some people just want to go with natural things like vinegar, baking soda, or water, or Dawn dish soap, those kinds of things. But bleach water is certainly a good alternative for that. But I am so sorry that you had that. But yes, get everything out of that pantry. And if there's a carpet in there, Hmm. Um, I'd see what kind of a spray that you could get in there that would penetrate the carpet to clean, to kill off anything that might be in that carpet. And you have to be cautious about what you use because remember, food items are going to go back into that pantry. And so, what you don't want to do is to use something to clean with that's going to be harmful to your food. So, let me just see. Oh, wait a minute. Fly Lady with Cat says, can't you freeze some things first before storing in the pantry to make sure you're not bringing them in from the store? And yes, that is absolutely positively correct. Now, what I will do for long-term storage, if I'm going to, let's say I've got a bag of beans, a pound of beans, or a pound of even cornmeal or something like that, I will put those things in my freezer and I will leave them in the freezer for 3 days. We'll just say beans. And I'll leave the beans in the freezer for 3 days so that it freezes and it kills off any bugs that are in there. Then I'll take those bags of items out of the freezer and set them on the counter and let them thaw out. And I'll let them sit on the counter for 3 days so that if there's any nits or anything like that in there that hatches after the initial freezing period, then they hatch, then I put them back in the freezer and freeze them again for another 3 days. And then when I take them out that time, let them thaw out, they should be good for me to put in my pantry. Then I will usually take them out of those bags and put them into glass storage containers. So that's what I tend to do. Um, some schools of thought, like say for example with rice and things like that, some people say they don't want to introduce the moisture into their food products, so they don't want to freeze them, but I will. So Daisy B wants to know, how do you clean wooden shelves? You're just going to wipe them down. I've got wooden shelves in my pantry, and I have a bottle of bay oil, and I will pour that into a bowl of warm water. And before I use that, I will take either maybe some kind of vinegar or something like that, and I will spray my wooden shelves down lightly. You don't want to saturate them, but I will spray them down lightly, clean all the little nooks and crannies, get everything out as clean as I can, and then I'll go back in with my bay oil because bay oil is a deterrent to bugs and different things like that. Some people, once it depended upon what geographical location you're in as well, because that's one of the things that I've learned. When I would go visit my daughter or visit some other people, say in Georgia or in Memphis, I would wonder, why do they have all these things in the refrigerator? Well, what I realized that in different parts of the country, particularly when they have warmer weather for longer periods of time, they're more likely to get an attraction of pantry moths or other kind of insect infestation in those kinds of things that are left in the pantry. So they tend to refrigerate their pancake mixers or different things like that. But storing those things in glass, like ball mason jars or other forms of glass, will be helpful. And I will link some ball jars in the description box below. So aerosol puff, tell us your name. We like to know each other's name over here. So tell us your name. But yes, I love ball mason jars to store things in. Rubbing alcohol, I don't know about that. I'm not sure about that. I can't speak to the science on that. So, and then Daisy B says she's washing her apple juice and bottled goods now, and then she'll start on her canned goods. And how do you clean the wooden shelves? Well, I gave you my suggestion on the wooden shelves in that you would wipe them down, say with your vinegar and water or some kind of cleanser, and then go back in and then wipe them down a second time with your bay oil and water. And the bay oil will leave a scent in there that will prove to be a deterrent. Okay. Tracy Quartermain is here. Aerosol Puff, it's Tracy Quartermain. All right. I didn't recognize your new handle. It's good to have you here. And then Michelle from My Everyday Wife Life is with us as well. Now, there's something here, guys. We're doing this YouTube Live with the vertical format, and YouTube is pushing that out right now for us to use. I could not get the StreamYard to come up. It kept saying try later, and I was trying for a good 45 minutes, so I just had posted a message that we probably weren't going to be able to go live today. And one of the things that I was told by a couple of my friends who has tried the vertical live with YouTube is that since they do push it out, you do get people who have not joined you before, and sometimes you do get a few trolls. So Blue Skies and it's going to be, hopefully, can help me with some of that to kind of help catch some of those. So Michelle says she likes using ball mason jars, but aren't they expensive too? Ball mason jars, they can be expensive, but here's the thing. It's a one-time purchase. You buy them one time and then you've got them. I'll buy mine and then I'll buy those ball jar lids that you can just, the screw-on caps that I can just screw on and take off and use those. Like I said, once you buy them, you've got them. And I would get some extra ones as well. Let's see. Blue Skies is helping me to stay on top of what people are submitting to make sure I don't miss it. So Michelle says she doesn't have a problem with bugs in her pantry, but every now and then with ants. Let's not even talk about ants. I tell you what, I saw ants on my counter the other day, and I'm like, babe, there's an ant in the kitchen. He goes, they come in every spring. Well, that's not the answer I wanted to hear. I'm like, look, I want you to get in here and take care of these ants. So yes, I have been battling ants as well. And I have some Fanny's ant spray that I think it's Aunt Fanny's ant spray, and it's made with like rosemary and a few other natural ingredients that you can spray that it kills them, but I want a deterrent to keep them from getting into the house. But now Blue Skies is saying that you can sometimes go to Michael's and Joann's and get those ball mason jars with a coupon, and that is very true. However, what I have found is that when Hobby Lobby and Joann's sells those mason jars, they are usually at a higher price than you can find them at Walmart, and they're not usually a whole set. For example, typically you can get 12 mason jars, depending upon the size, in a carton. But at Hobby Lobby and Joann's, they tend to sell them in 2s and 3s, and sometimes even singly, depending upon how much they are. And so Tracy Quartermain at Aerosol One Puff says she pulled out her raid. And yeah, I understand about that too. Okay, so we were talking about spring cleaning and the need to do that. Well, Daisy B, boom, you've given us an excellent reason why spring cleaning may be necessary. But let's back up a minute, because what you're also doing is zone cleaning. So zone 2 is the kitchen. And in the kitchen, you can, in zone cleaning, you choose 4 15 to 20-minute tasks to do in your area for that week. With the Fly Lady cleaning system, you have 5 work days, Monday through Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday is your weekend. So if you're a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home homemaker, I should say, then you're going to choose 4 tasks that are 15 to 20 minutes at the most, and you're going to do 1 task each day. So I know Blue Skies was saying she has difficulty figuring out how to utilize the Fly Lady cleaning system. So now let's take her as an example, because I know what her house is like and we'll break it down. So zone 1 is going to be her entryway. Her entryway has a ramp. It also has some railing. And then she's got her front door and a couple little ledges right there by her front door. So what she might consider doing for her zone 1 cleaning, which is this week, she's going to pick 4 things to do. So task number 1 could be she's going to sweep down her ramp, get rid of all the leaves that might be out there. That's 1 15-minute task. Tuesday is going to be her free day. So Monday's a work day, Tuesday's a free day. But on Wednesday, she's going to do another task on her entryway. So she might decide to open her door and clean the inside of her door, maybe clean the baseboard of her door up, down, wash the door from the window out, that kind of thing. And then once her door is open, there's like a little walkway, there's like a little tile floor that's a walkway straight into her house, and then she's got her craft room to the right. She might decide, okay, for my 3rd task, I'm just going to mop that little walkway. And then the 4th task, well, she can decide what she needs to do in that area, but she's only going to pick 4 things to do there. So now the next week, which is week 2 of the month, which starts like on April the 8th, we're going to do zone 2, which is the kitchen. So Daisy B since you're working in your zone 2, your kitchen, you're going to pick 4 things to do. Now, you're in a crisis right now. You're doing some crisis cleaning because you ended up with those pantry bugs. But typically, what you might consider doing, and we'll go back to blue skies now as the example. So what she might consider doing is, okay, so maybe because she's heard you talk about the pantry bugs, she might say, you know what, I think I want to deep clean my pantry, because in your zone work is when you do your deep cleaning. So I'm going to deep clean my pantry this week. So I'm going to go into the pantry, and her pantry has about 5 or 6 shelves that are straight ahead. And then she's got one set of shelves that are like over here on the side. And that's not a 15-minute task. And then she's got things on the floor, as we all do in our pantries, things that we set down on the floor that don't fit on the shelves. So what she might decide today, say, okay, this week I'm going to focus on that pantry. I'm going to get it all sorted out. So I'm going to work on the top 2 shelves on Wednesday. And I'm going to get those organized. I'm going to take everything off those shelves, wipe those things down, wipe the shelves down, take a look to make sure there's no pantry bugs or anything in any of those containers. And if I need to refill, restock, replenish, I'll take care of that, get those 2 things put back up. And she can get those top 2 shelves done in about 20 minutes. Now, the 2 shelves that are straight ahead might take a little bit more time, but excuse me, she's got more things on them that are in canisters, and she's in and out of there all the time. So she might say, okay, I'm going to get these 2 middle shelves taken care of on Thursday. So she pulls everything off of those shelves, just wipe them down with a little bit of vinegar and water, or maybe a little bit of rosemary, um, oil and water, something like that, something that's a natural deterrent. And then she replaces the canisters back in there, gets them organized the way she wants them. So now on Monday, which was her first day in zone 2, she did the top 2 shelves. On Tuesday was her free day, so she didn't do any zone work. On Wednesday, now she's back at it with her zone work, so she's going to do those bottom 2 shelves in her pantry. So on Monday and Wednesday now, she's got all 4 of her pantry shelves done in the front. The pantry shelves that are here on the side, they tend to stay kind of organized. There are smaller shelves, but not a whole lot goes in and out of there. So maybe she says, well, I'm going to take care of those shelves in one day, in one 15 to 20 minute, no more than 30-minute section. So she takes everything off of those shelves, wipe them down, and then just kind of gets them reorganized and gets them put back up. So now she's got the shelves done. But there are things that have been set on the floor. Maybe there's cartons of water, big bottles of, we'll say juice or soda. There could be some baskets of snacks or things like that. And it could take 15 to 30 minutes to organize that. And she'll say, okay, so today is Friday, so I'm going to work on that right now. And so she takes everything out, sweeps the floor on the bottom now, because again, this is on the floor. So she's going to sweep that floor out. Then she's going to get out a washcloth, and she's going to get some vinegar and water or some other kind of deterrent. And she's going to mop that floor, get the corners all cleaned out, that kind of thing. And then she's going to put her baskets and those kind of things back in and get those organized. And while she's in the pantry, as Fly Lady Cat said, she's also going to be getting rid of expired and stale things. And really, that's why there's an expiration date on some products, because when they sit too long, sometimes they germinate. And if there's some kind of insects or nits or something like that, they might tend to hatch or whatever in those boxes. So yeah, so that's partly why we have expiration dates on things, particularly things that have nuts and things like that in them. So I think Blue Skies and Fly Lady Cat are having a discussion about ants. So they're having a discussion about putting out baits for ants. And that's what my husband will do. He will buy these little long cylinder-like clear ant traps or ant baits. And they look pretty clear. And he puts those out, and he says that the ants take it back to their home and that kills them off. Okay, so Cheryl says it was 80 degrees in North Carolina yesterday, but it's much cooler today. Well, hey, we had sprinklings of snow. It was cold today here. Very cold. Okay, so Fly Lady Cat and somebody are talking about ants or some bugs. So I'm going to leave them to that. I think tarot was what my husband gets out. That's what he gets, something like that. But they're talking about bugs. I'll let them do that. And yeah, Daisy, I am so sorry that you have that problem. I had that happen to me once. And I had to throw out, like you said, 99% of everything, every box that I had in that pantry, I had to throw it out. Because I just did not want to take the risk of leaving something in there, then buying new food, and then having that get bad as a result of that either. And since then, I switched over to jars. But you can also get some good plastic containers. And I will link some of those in the description box as well. Um, oh, okay. So it's Blue Skies and My Everyday Wife Life. They're talking about ants or something or another. Okay. So Inktrack 9082 says, hi from Antarctica. It's cold. You know, Inktrack 82, tell us your name. We like to know each other's names over here. But yes, you are on the other side of the world. So yes, it would be somewhat chilly over there. But it's been chilly right here in Indiana as well. And Michelle at My Everyday Wife Life says vinegar and orange essential oils works well because bugs don't like citrus. They don't like citrus. They don't like rosemary. They don't like bay oil. So I like to use the essential oils to try to clean my various areas. Now, I don't know. I've tried to get a little bit more environmentally friendly as I've gotten older. I just think more and more about the impact, the footprint that we're leaving on the environment. So I try to go with something that is as environmentally safe as possible. So the oils, the essential oils and the vinegar and those kinds of things will do that. So I tend to use those kinds of things. So Tracy says they're having quarter thunderstorms in Philly. Let's see if I missed anything. Okay. So Michelle says she thinks Walmart has a better price on mason jars. Yes, they do. Walmart's prices on mason jars are much better than Amazon or anywhere else I've seen. I have picked up mason jars at Kroger because I couldn't find them elsewhere. But my first place to buy mason jars will be Walmart. Second place is Target. Those are the two places that have the best prices. You can also get them at hardware stores like Do It Best, um, Ace Hardware, Tractor Supply, because they carry a lot of canning supplies and those kind of things for people as well. Okay, let's see. Let's see, have I missed anybody? I think. Okay, I think I've gotten all of the questions so far. When you hear that little bing, usually Blue Skies is letting me know that there is something that I've missed. Oh, and she says that Oak says lavender is also a good one. And I love the smell of lavender. I really do love the smell of lavender. So yes, so you know, Daisy B, your pantry's gonna smell so good, and you're gonna be so pleased. And so now, Blue Skies, I was giving you some suggestions on how you can work the zone cleaning system because you said earlier that's what you struggle with. So as Fly Lady Cat says, when we use the Fly Lady system, it's a 3-layer cake. And I'm going to use your words today, Fly Lady Cat. You say it's a 3-layer cake. 3-layer cake. And that includes our daily routines, our weekly plan, and then our zone cleaning. And so when we look at our daily routine, that's going to be my daily swish and swipe where I'm swishing out the toilet and wiping out the sink and wiping down the bathroom mirror. I do that first thing in the morning every day and I get that done. And then I'm going to start a load of laundry, unload the dishwasher or put away any dishes that my husband might have washed and left out on the in the rack to dry. And so unload the dishwasher, start a load of laundry, daily swish and swipe. Those are going to be those things. Oh, and a clutter stop, as Fly Lady Cat likes to remind us to do, a clutter stop. And I don't have a lot of clutter stops to do anymore. I try to do them twice a day. There's just the two of us here. But typically the clutter that I'm picking up are hats. My husband has more hats than you can shake a stick at. He's got enough hats for the free world. And there's always a hat laying down somewhere. So typically I'm picking up a hat and putting it in the closet, or I'm picking up a coat and putting that in the closet. But everything else pretty much stays, for the most part, stays where it should be, except in the kitchen. And who's in there most of the time? Moi. I'm the one causing that problem. All right. Let's see. I just lost a question that Blue Skies was trying to share with me. Okay, well, I've lost that, so she'll send it again if I can't find it. So, okay, so where was I? So we did the clutter stop, and I see Blue Sky says that she has way too many clutter stops. She said she was going to get rid of them, but another one will pop up. So let me explain what a clutter stop is, because Blue Skies, what you need to do is declutter. A clutter stop is when you find things that are out of place. They have a home, but they're not where they belong. And so you just pick them up and put them where they belong. So, for example, my husband's hats. The hats have a place. He has 4 or 5 or 6 clotheslines in the garage with little clips on them, and the hats go there. Or I have a closet that's in the that's in the entryway, and I've got some bins up there for hats and a couple hooks up there for hats. So those hats actually have a place. But he walks past the closet into the living room and puts the hat on the chair, or he'll lay his coat on the chair. So those are things that are out of place. So I can pick those up, hang up the coat, put the hat in the closet, and that clutter has been removed. And a clutter magnet is a flat place. So let's say a chair. He likes that chair, that particular chair to put things on. It could be the top of your microwave. It could be a little shelving unit that you have close to the kitchen. But it's any flat surface where you can sit things. That is where clutter can accumulate. So you want to make sure you're checking those clutter magnets, which are flat surfaces, to make sure things are not there. Clutter, on the other hand, are things that don't have a home. They're just somewhat everywhere, and you really don't have anywhere to put them. And you need to declutter to get rid of things so that you have a place for them. Now, you guys know I've decluttered my cookbooks 3 or 4 times, and I end up bringing in more cookbooks. I don't know if I'm going to declutter them again. I'm going to try to figure out how to get them organized and keep them in there. But it's difficult to organize clutter. You just can't organize clutter. You got to get rid of clutter and pare it down to things that you actually love, need, and use. Okay. Oh, Kat says she sees her newest apron behind me. Yes, this is one of our newest ones. This is Fleur, and this is the one that we got in, and we tested it a little bit a few weeks ago, and it just, boom, went so quickly. So we got in some more. And so, because several people were asking about it. So, yes, we have a few more of those in now. So, if you were waiting for those to come back in, now you can get those. So now, Michelle said she has no cookbooks. Michelle, I have a whole pantry full of cookbooks. It's a small cabinet, and I even got a few cookbooks up here. I love cookbooks. I like cookbooks like most people like novels. I really do. But I need them. And then Michelle says she got that same apron as well, and that she loves it. So one of the things that Michelle did share with us, though, was that you can get some quart-size white mouth jars, 12 of them for $16 at Walmart. And that's about $1.33 a jar. And that's a pretty good deal. Now, that is up from 2 or 3 years ago. But that's where we are now. And if you wait to buy those quart jars in 6 months or a year, the prices just may be up higher. So I encourage you to consider shopping at Walmart for some glass storage containers, or OXO also has some nice kind of a hard plastic containers that you can use. There's all different kinds of storage containers you can get. That's better than the bags and boxes that things come in, because you can transfer things into your home with the bags and boxes. We have so gotten off track, but the conversation was needed. So, okay, so I'm going to back up now. And I was helping Blue Skies figure out how to do zone cleaning in her kitchen. And so, as I mentioned, I gave her 4 tasks that she was going to do. Top 2 shelves in the pantry on Monday. bottom two shelves in the pantry on Wednesday, side shelf in the pantry on Thursday, and then the floor of the pantry on Friday. Now, here's something else. If you think the floor of the pantry is going to take more than 20 minutes and certainly more than 30 minutes, then that might be something that you need to do a little bit longer. You could either create a project for the pantry and then give yourself so many days to get that pantry done. Or you can say, okay, I'm going to bite the bullet and I'm just going to go ahead and get this done. Hey, Sophia, it is so good to have you here. Sophia is one of the ladies in my accountability group, and here she is catching me live. Sophia, I tell you what, I was trying to go live on StreamYard, and I was having the worst time. It just would not come up. It just kept saying, try again later, try again later. So I tried the vertical format with YouTube here, and it appears to be working. So thank you for joining us. So ladies, welcome Sophia to our group. Like I said, she's in an accountability group with me on another platform, and here she is to show me some love today, so I appreciate it. So we talked about the kitchen, blue skies. So that was just the 4 things you would do in the kitchen. If there's other things in your kitchen that you need to work on, you have to put them off to another time, or your kitchen could be a project. So now, what is a project? A project would be something where you have a start date and you have an end date, and you decide, okay, I'm not doing any zone cleaning this week because I've got my kitchen to do, and it's going to take me 2, 3, or 4 weeks to get it the way I need it to be. So I'm going to start this project on April 1st, which was Monday. I want to have this project done by April 30th, which is the last day of the month. And then how many days in the month do you have to work on it? Well, you have 4 days a week, Monday through Friday, but just 4 days to work on it. And then you would look at that kitchen and think, okay, pantry, 2 top shelves, 2 bottom shelves, side shelf, 4. So there's 4 things right there. Then you might say, oh, microwave, top of my microwave is a mess. So then you write down the top of the microwave. Then you think, oh, over in my kitchen on the counter, I've got the counter on the left of the sink, the counter on the right of the sink. I got things on top of my stove. I have things on the floor in a corner. So you count all the different little piles of things or the different little tasks in your kitchen that you see that needs to be done. So maybe you come up with a list of 20 things that need to be done. And maybe some of those things can be done in 5 minutes. So you can combine 2 things on one day. Maybe some of those tasks are going to take you more than 15 minutes. Like the pantry is going to take you 4 or 5 units to do. So you would create a project for the kitchen, and then you would put in your planner. You would put in your planner So you would put in your planner. I don't know if you can see this or not, but let's say here's your planner. And then let's say your start date is right here is your start date. And then down here is your end date. And then you would count how many days you've got to do. And then you would write one task on each day so that you know each day what task you're going to work on, and then just mark them off as you get them done. And then when that project is done, then you can go back to your zone work. And then Blue Skies is saying that her craft room is a hot mess right now. So I need to focus on that first, but we can talk about that later. So, okay, your craft room is a major area in your home because that's your office. That's where you do your work. So when we look at zone 3, which is the main bath and one other room, well, your main bath, you could decide I'm not going to work on the bathroom other than my daily swish and swipe. I'm going to focus all the time on my craft room. Or you could decide instead of focusing on the kitchen, the craft room is going to be the project. And so you'll do your daily swish and swipe just to kind of maintain things. And when I'm talking to Blue Skies, but I'm talking to all of you guys about how to get this done. So your daily swish and swipe for Sophia, who has just joined us, your daily swish and swipe is going to be You're going to wipe down your bathroom mirror, wipe out your bathroom sink, and then switch the toilet. That just keeps it clean and livable. So if anybody drops in, your bathroom is clean, you don't have to worry about it. You're going to start a load of laundry. You're going to unload the dishwasher, or since I know you wash your dishes and dry them in the rack, you're going to put those dishes away so that the rack is empty and your sink is ready to receive dirty dishes so that you can wash them and put them in the rack for the day. And then start your laundry, transfer to the dryer, get your laundry done. That's it. So that's your daily thing that you're going to get done. I haven't talked about the weekly plan yet. I'm moving on to zones. So now instead of doing zone cleaning, we're doing project work. There's no zone cleaning when you're working on a project. And so your project for the month of April is going to be your craft room. And then you will divide the craft room into however many different little stations. So maybe your desk is one spot. Maybe this particular cabinet is another one. Or maybe this cabinet might take 2 units, because you're looking at 20 to 30 minute increments for a project. You can work for 30 minutes at a time if you like. What we don't want you to do is just say, okay, I'm just going to work all day and get this done. Well, then what happens is you wear yourself out. You don't create new habits, or you get overly tired and you just say, well, I'll just work on it later. But if you have one small piece that you're going to work on at a time, you get that done. So for you, you could say, well, I'm going to spring clean my craft room. But actually, you're just creating a project and you're going to work on that project at 30-minute increments until it's done. So you're going to have a start date, you're going to have an end date, you're going to have a goal that you're going to set, and you're going to have a vision for that project. So let's say your vision is a clean and organized craft room. That's your vision, is a clean and organized craft room. The goal is the craft room will be clean and organized by April 30th. And then the steps you're going to take are going to be the different little tasks that you do in the meantime. I do have a video where I show how to do a major project where I talk about cleaning the garage. I will link that in the description box so that people that want to learn how to work on a major project can do that later. But yeah, that's something that you'll want to do. Okay. And yes, I like what Fly Lady Cat says. If you keep too much stuff, you're living in a storage unit. Homes are too expensive. Think how much square foot your home is worth. So yeah, so if you've got too much stuff, you're living in a storage unit. And this is the thing, if you got too much stuff, you got to manage it. Who wants to manage stuff? I'd rather live and enjoy my home more when I don't have to manage all of the stuff. So that's something to think about. So, well, Michelle said she rarely cooks from a recipe. And you know, Michelle, I rarely cook from a recipe either, but sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll pull out a cookbook and just sit there and try to come up with new ideas and see what's in there. And then I'll use a recipe or I'll tweak a recipe. But I love cookbooks. I like looking at the pictures and all of that. And my everyday wife life has a craft room too that she works on. All right, so yes, Blue Skies, you're going to have to declutter. That's what you're going to want to have to do. Let's see. So Blue Skies and Michelle are talking about cookbooks. Yeah, I love cookbooks. So Michelle says she's been decluttering on YouTube since 2015 and still going, not quite in the maintenance mode. And you know, Michelle, I am right there with you. And we're even talking about the possibility of buying a new home, something that's a bit smaller than what we have now, something that's all on one level. And I thought, oh, if we're going to move, I got a lot of decluttering to do, because if you're downsizing, then that means you're going into smaller space. And so you got a lot of things you're going to have to get rid of. So definitely. Let's see. So Blue Sky says she's planning to move. So if that's the case, then she's going to have to start getting some decluttering done. Thank you, Sophia. I am so glad you're here. Yes, start date, end date, and goal for a completed project. So that's the first thing you want to do, is decide start date and then an end date, and you come up with the end date based upon the number of tasks that you have to do. That's what determines it. You can say you want to have it done by the 30th of April, but if the tasks you're working on take more than 30 minutes, it may need to go past that deadline. But we can talk about how to do a project. Michelle, the garage is always a work in progress for us. We can get that garage all cleaned up, cleared out. And then it's back where it was. And my husband keeps his boat out there, and then various tools and things like that. All his fishing equipment is out there. So the garage was nice and neat and cleaned up for winter. Now the boat is back in the garage. All the fishing equipment is out of the attic, and he's kind of gradually getting all that stuff out. So, and it's neat and organized according to him. So my car can still go in over on my side of the garage most of the time until he puts something over there where he doesn't want me to park in there if he's working in there on some stuff. But yeah. Michelle said she was making progress until her adult son moved back home. I know several people that have had that particular scenario. So yeah, I get it. So, okay, so we're talking about zone cleaning. So we got to zone 2, which was the kitchen. Zone 3 is the main bathroom and one other room, which for me typically is this office, but it could be a child's bedroom or something like that. Zone 4, as I said, was your master or primary bedroom closet, and primary bedroom bathroom. And so now, what are some deep cleaning things you might do in there? So if I was in the bedroom, I might decide, well, so for my zone cleaning in there, I'm going to polish the woodwork in the bedroom because our bedroom furniture is wood. And then, so I'm going to polish all of that, give it a good cleaning, polish it with some um, furniture polish. Then that would be one thing. Maybe task 2 might be, well, I'll clean the baseboards in there because I haven't done that for a while. The third thing it might be would be to vacuum all around the room, but not just in the main walkways, but also in the corners and all the little crevices and the closet floors and things like that. And I might decide to hit the master bathroom also, and then give that floor in there a good cleaning, and in the corners and crevices behind the toilet and all around there. Maybe one of the tasks might be to scrub down the shower surround. That could be one, but you pick 4 things in there that you're going to work on. And then the next month, there'll be 4 more things that you're going to pick in there so that you're hitting all the deep cleaning areas all the time. So you're deep cleaning every week. So with zone cleaning, we don't really need to do spring cleaning because you're deep cleaning all the time. Now let's talk about zone 5, which would be the family room and the living room. So what I might do in that area in the family room is maybe I'll decide, okay, so this week, one of the things I want to do is polish the leather furniture. I want to take the cushions off, vacuum underneath those cushions. You'd be amazed how many peanuts and popcorn and different little things like that you can find in a chair where a grown man sits. Yeah. So I might decide to get out the vacuum cleaner and vacuum all those cushions and things, and then polish my furniture with some leather cleaner. I like to do that about once a year. I guess that could be my spring cleaning, so to speak. But it doesn't have to be. I can do it whatever time of the year I want. And then, so that might be it could take me one 15-minute task, but typically it could take 2. So if I'm going to pull up all the pillows and vacuum, that's going to take 15 minutes. And then if I'm going to wipe down the furniture with the leather polish, that's going to be another 15 minutes. Then I could decide, okay, it's time for me to really vacuum the floors and mop the floors in the family room. So I'm going to get behind the sofa, back in all the corners and things like that. Maybe I'll work on the bookshelves, but you pick different things in the room. And if you don't get the whole room done, well, the zone will come around again the next month. So there's that. So that's zone cleaning. And then the weekly plan, which I did not mention on this system, is like the second layer of the 3-layer cake. So the first layer would be your daily routines. The second layer would be your weekly plan. So Monday is your weekly home blessing. What happens on the weekly home blessing? There's like 6 little things that you do. First of all, you strip your bed and throw those sheets in the wash. You vacuum in the primary walkways in your home, and then you dust all the surfaces in your home, wipe down the glass, not just, going inside, outside, all that kind of little thing, but just in the areas where you can see might be handprints. If you've got littles and they're touching the door or the windows, or if you've got dogs or cats and there's nose prints or paw prints up there, you're wiping those things down. You're going to be emptying all the little trash cans in your home, just the little ones. And you're going to get those empty, get all that done. So you're going to be doing that. So there's 6 things that you're going to do, and it only takes you about 10 minutes for each thing. And then once those sheets go in the wash, transfer them to the dryer and put those same sheets back on the bed. But it's just a blessing where you're just giving your house just a little bit of lick in all the different areas, and it just keeps things neat and tidy. Your weekly home blessing. Tuesday is your free day. So you only do daily routines and no zone work on Tuesdays. Wednesday would be your weekly planning. So that's the day that you plan your groceries for the week, and maybe you order them to pick them up on Thursday. You work on your budget, you pay your bills, those kinds of things. But those are the things you do on Wednesday. Sometimes you sit down at your planner and plan what you're going to do the next week. So for example, the things I'm working on in zone 1 this week, I planned last week as to what I was going to do, and I put those things in my planner. And then on Thursday is your errand day. So that's when you go out of the house. So I get my hair done on Thursday. So when I go out on Thursday to get my hair done, as you can see, I need it. And then I also make a stop at the post office to check my P.O. box, or if I have any orders, I take those out then. I can pick up my groceries, or can have my husband pick them up, or I can have them delivered on Thursday so that when I get home, I can get things put away. If I've got to go to the library, if I've got to go to the dry cleaners, but I'm out running around on Thursday, so I do all those things while I'm out, so I'm not running back and forth. On Friday, it's car and purse day, so you clean out your car and clean out your purse. Since my husband takes care of the cars, he'll clean out the car. He said to me the other day, he was like, babe, what do you do in the car? What? Because I had stuff everywhere. I'm like, I don't know. But he cleans out the car and I clean out my purse. And Fly Lady Cat calls all those little receipts and things little minions that you get in your purse. And it's amazing how much stuff I can have in my purse. But you clean your purse out on Friday, then it's good for the next week. Saturday is family day. So it's family fun day. So you spend time with your family, do different things that you need to do. You're not doing any zone work on the weekend unless you work outside the home or work full-time inside the home. Sunday is renew your spirit. So that's going to church or temple or just spending some time, quiet time at home. Now, if you are a homemaker that works outside of the home, meaning you've got a job 9 to 5, or you might have a job where you work inside the home 9 to 5, then you're going to have to get those things that I talked about, the weekly plan and the daily swish and swipe, and some of those things you might have to put off to the weekend. Now, as far as the daily swish and swipe, you can probably still get that done because it only takes about 10 minutes to get those done. But you might have to do it before you go to work, or you might do it when you come in from work before the kids, like after the kids or the littles are in the bed. And you might do that as one of the last things that you do before you go to bed. But you are not expected to do all those other things that I mentioned during the week because you're supposed to be paying attention to your job. You're supposed to be giving them your time and attention and not trying to slide in this or slide in that. You're going to be worn out and you're not going to be able to give attention that is needed to your employer, which is where it should be at that time. So you're going to have to do your zone work on the hour on Saturday or Sunday morning. So maybe you might take an hour on Saturday morning to get up and get that done and get it out of the way. Get your family to help you so you guys can get things done early on. You got the rest of the day for family. Now let's see what we've got here. What are people saying? Let's see. People are talking about their classroom. I think I'm caught up. Yeah, I think I'm caught up. Blue Skies and Michelle are talking about basements. Fly Lady Cat is laughing about the popcorn and the peanuts. Yes, that's where he sits and he has his snacks. When I bought groceries today, I set a big container of peanuts on the table beside where he sits. So yeah, some people have attics. I do pretty good. Thank you, Kat. She says I've been practicing planning for a while and I've gotten pretty good at it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, and then the other thing that Fly Lady Cat said is that you have to do things when you're not motivated. And that is the thing about the Fly Lady cleaning system that has proved to be so helpful for me. And that's why I don't need to spring clean, because with my Fly Lady cleaning system, and I use my planner to write down the different things that I'm going to do when I get up. I take a look at my planner and I say, okay, so what is it that I have planned to do today? And I can just look at it and it tells me what it is that I need to do, and I can write those things down. So now I decorate my planner as part of my quiet time. When I just want to sit and relax, I will decorate my planner. So don't scream. And I know Kat's going to scream when she sees this, but I do this to kind of relax and plan. But in this area right here, where it says zone cleaning, I write down the 4 things that I am going to do to in zone 2 that week. And it said pantry reset, under kitchen sink, clean washing machine. I have a laundry pantry that's inside my kitchen, and then scrub counter. So that was the 4 tasks that I was going to do for 1 week in March. And then this was the next week when I was working on zone 3. And so right here for zone 3, it says office paper. So working on the paper clutter on my desk. Office paper, I gave it two units. So 2 units of office paper, and then something else on the desk, and then the storage room. So that was for zone 3. So for the primary bedroom, I had, for the next week, I have yoga drawer. I got enough yoga clothes for the free world. My closet, polish the furniture, and Will's shower. So that's how I had things planned out. And then as far as my daily routine, I will write those like right there. I write down what the daily routine there, and then I can track it over there. I haven't been good about marking things off, but I have been good about getting things done. So, and that's how I will track it and know what it is that I'm supposed to be doing. And so I just get up and I just go. And so for my daily routine, when I get out of bed, the first thing I do is I'll hit the bathroom, and then I'll get dressed in my yoga clothes. And I lay out my yoga clothes typically before I go to bed, and I get out and I'll put those yoga clothes on, and then I go downstairs, I roll out my mat, and I do my yoga and my home physical therapy. And I know that if I don't do that first thing in the morning, it doesn't happen, because then the day gets involved, life starts life, and it gets away. So I will do that first thing. And then once I'm done with the yoga, then I just get started on my routine. Unload the dishwasher, start the laundry, make the bed, do this, do that. So I really don't have to think about it, because it's become second nature. And that's what's helpful for you young homemakers out there. So I know Michelle said she's been doodling and drawing in her planner, aka notebook, and she likes to use a notebook, and she likes to make lists and different things like that. And if that's what works for you, that's fine. Now, one of the things that I decided though was for the month of April is that I was going to allow myself more room to write on the planner, because I was running out of room. I was writing so much stuff all over it that I was having a little bit too much of the space covered up. So I gave myself more room for that way. And Fly Lady Cat says your planner is a serious tool. It will help you stay on task. But yeah, and I like to decorate mine. It just helps me to relax. And sometimes on Sunday evening, I'll just be sitting at the table, and my husband will be in the family room. He'll be watching, I don't know, basketball or some kind of show or whatever on TV. And I'm sitting in one room, he's sitting in the other, but we can like see each other from where we are. And I'm just working with my planner tools and or my stickers and things and just relaxing. Because as homemakers, we are busy all the time. And you need to have some quiet time. So one of the things that my therapist said to me was you have to give yourself permission to just be quiet, to just do nothing. And so my way of doing nothing is to just sit there with my stickers and my planner and just kind of just fiddle. And I enjoy that. All right, let's see, what am I missing? Okay. All right. So ladies, so I've talked about zone cleaning versus spring cleaning. And I think zone cleaning is the way to go. Even for you homemakers who work outside of the home, or payroll homemakers, as Fly Lady Cat likes to say, I think zone cleaning can work for you as well, because you get to choose each week what you're going to do in each zone. And you can figure out, okay, so if I'm in the kitchen this week and I need to clean the dishwasher and I need to clean the stove, like the grill, not the grill, but the oven, the hood over the oven, I need to clean the dishwasher, and I want to clean the corners of the kitchen, like under the kitchen cabinets and the kitchen floors. I know that to clean the dishwasher, all I'm going to have to do is just put in a cup of vinegar in the dishwasher or some kind of a dishwasher cleaner and run it. That's not going to take me long to do at all. However, and even cleaning the hood over the stove, I'm going to spray it with some stainless steel cleaner, and that's not going to take me very long at all. But if I'm going to clean the oven, now that's going to take some time. So I might decide to pick the dishwasher and the oven cleaner as, tasks to do that week. I could even do those two things on the same day. I can go ahead and put the bowl of water in the dishwasher and get it running and then work on the oven. Even though the oven may take me, I don't know, 15 to 30 minutes to get it done, I know the dishwasher is not going to take that long at all. And so I can do those two things on one day and then they're out of the way. Or if you're that mom that works outside of the home, you might be having to do all four of those things on one day and you only have an hour. So you want to choose things that you can put together that you can do relatively quickly. Make things manageable. And yeah, the oven is a monster, but Cheryl, what I've been doing, I use an oven liner, and I will link those in the description box as well. I buy these oven liners, I get them online from Amazon, and I put one at the bottom of the oven, and when things drip off the different little bowls and whatever, as they do in the oven, they drip on the oven liner. And then about once a month or once every couple of months, sometimes even longer, depending upon how neat I am in the oven, then I can just roll that little oven liner out, throw it away, and put a new one in. And it keeps my oven from getting all nasty and yucky. Now, what does get dirty though is that oven door, like the little window on the oven door. There's not much you can put on that. But if you clean it like once a month or once every couple of months, you can kind of keep that down to a dull roar. Okay, so what questions do you guys have about zone cleaning versus spring cleaning? What are your thoughts? I'm thinking that spring cleaning is really pretty much obsolete, that zone cleaning is the way to go. And then while I've got you all on here, let me remind you that I do have my coaching sessions that are now open. They're available on Patreon. And if you want coaching with me, I've been asked several times if I was doing individual coaching, and now the answer is yes. So you can sign up for your individual coaching on Patreon. I will put the link to that in the description box below. I don't have everything in this description box that I normally would, because I was trying to get things set up on StreamYard, and when it wouldn't work, I'm like, okay, let's go to YouTube. And I didn't want to disappoint you guys, because you guys know I'm typically here on Wednesday at 7:45. And last week I was away for Easter holiday, and so I thought, okay, I got to show up tonight. So here I am. But I do want you to make sure that you do know that I do have coaching available, and I will put that link in the description box. And also my Laundry Lab Challenge, my 7-day in the Laundry Lab Challenge is going to kick off on April 15th. which is tax day, but it is also National Laundry Day. So sign up for my 7-day in the Laundry Lab challenge. I will put the links for that in the description box and we will get it started. So if laundry is your challenge, if you positively, absolutely hate to do laundry, sign up for my Laundry Lab challenge. So the links will be in the description box. Now let's see. Sunshine and Day is saying hello, and she has a bleach question. Have you ever dealt with bleach stain on white clothes? It made a yellow spot. Yes, bleach can make whites kind of yellowish. So I tend not to use bleach anymore on my white clothing. If I'm trying to sanitize my dish towels, my dishcloths, I might put a little bit of bleach in the water, but for the most part, I rarely use bleach. What I use to try to whiten my whites, and my husband had the best white shirts when he was working as an usher at the Coliseum, I like to use OxyClean White Revive. Now, if you've got white shirts, you're going to need to work with that collar. So put a little bit of, make a paste out of your OxyClean White Revive, or you can go with your Dawn dishwashing liquid, vinegar, and water, and spray some of that on the collar. Give that collar a good scrub, soak it in that, soak the cuffs and all that kind of stuff, and then wash it. But yeah, bleach can make a stain on white clothes. Now, how can you get that off? I'm not sure. You can rewash it and then scrub it. Try some White Revive to try to get that out. But once you've put that in the dryer and set the stain, it may be difficult to get out. So I would encourage you not to use bleach to try to get your whites white. Now, way back in the day, bleach was all they had. But now we have better options that aren't as harsh on your clothing. So I would suggest that you not try bleach. Okay, so I got that question. Okay, so I got that one. Yeah, OxyClean White Revive. And like I said, I don't know if you can get that bleach stain out. You can try it. Put some baking soda, make a paste out of baking soda and set it on there. Let it sit for about 15 to 30 minutes and then give it a good scrub. See if you can at least lighten the stain. That might work. We'll see. Ha ha ha. Fly Lady Cat says zone cleaning for the win. And I have to agree. I think zone cleaning is what works out best. Zone cleaning is it. That's the only way to go. As far as spring cleaning, or even we could say seasonal cleaning, there might be some seasonal things that you might need to do. Like in the fall, my husband will clean off the porch. He will clean up all the furniture that we leave sitting out. He gets those things loaded up and put away in the shed. Gets a lawnmower and all those things put away, and then gets the snow blowers out, gets them put into the garage, so he's swapping out those seasonal items, putting away the rakes and hoes and those kind of things, and getting out the snow shovels and the snow blower and those kind of things. So when you think about seasonal cleaning, that's a little bit different story, because there may be some things you do based upon the seasons in your area. My husband would always wash the windows in the spring and summer because it's too cold to be doing any window washing in the fall and winter around here. So in the spring and summer, he would do that. And because of all the salt and some of the debris that gets in the snow, sometimes it can make the windows quite dusty or quite dirty. So we do that. So Cheryl says, does OxyClean White Revive work? Oh, yeah. Oh, does it work on socks? Well, here's the thing. So Blue Sky is talking about, Blue Sky says, when you're using bleach, be sure to wear an apron because bleach splashes. Yes, bleach can splash, and if it splashes on your clothing, it can leave a spot. And I will say that splashless bleach that you can buy in the containers that is splashless, it's not quite the same as the regular bleach. So you might not necessarily get the sanitizing results that you're looking for. That's number one. Does it work on socks? Surely it depends on how dirty those socks are. So now let's talk about soft whites and hard whites. First of all, soft whites are my husband's white shirts that he wears to church or to work. Those are soft whites. Hard whites are grungy gym socks and tidy whities. And I don't wash the two together because the grunge on those gym socks and those kinds of things will drift onto those white shirts. So I wash those two separately. So yes, I wash my soft whites separately from my hard whites. Now, um, does white revive work on socks? Yes, but what I do is I will make up a bucket of soaking water, and I will soak those socks, or I will soak whatever I need to soak overnight in a bucket of water. I'll put in maybe a tablespoon or two of dish soap, not dish soap, laundry detergent, depending upon what laundry detergent you have. I'll put in a little laundry detergent and some maybe a cup of the Oxy White Revive, and clean that up, or rather fill that up with water, and then I will put the socks in there or the shirts in there and soak them overnight, and that will help to whiten them. And let's see. Fly Lady Cat is on vacation. She's going to go. Oh, thank you so much for joining us. And you joined us on your vacation. Hooray. Thank you, Fly Lady Cat. Guys, it's the best Fly Lady on YouTube. She's on vacation this week, but she's usually live every Monday around 10:15. So check her out. And so have fun on your vacation, Cat. And all right. So ladies and gents, we have been on for 75 minutes. I didn't know we would be on this long. So unless you have another question, we are going to wrap this puppy up. So in case you just joined us, I am Denise Jordan. I am your host, and this is our bi-weekly show, Homemaking with Purpose, where we bring to you the best ideas, tips, tricks, interviews in regards to homemaking. And as always, this show is brought to you by Aprondiva, our online apron boutique. And this is our featured apron for the week. We call it the Fleur. So if you missed that when it was out a couple of weeks ago, we just got some more back in. So be sure to check that out. And let's see what else. Oh, and then be sure to sign up if you want individual coaching. You can sign up for my coaching sessions in my description box below on my Patreon, which I'll have to put all that stuff in as soon as I close out. And then, of course, sign up for my 7 days in the laundry lab laundry challenge. If you hate to do laundry, you need to be in that challenge. So, ladies and gents, thank you so much for joining us. And I will see you all next time. Bye.